Hello, VAVA students again. This is Mrs. Boerbacher, the 9th grade academic advisor. So for this video, we're going to talk about motivation. Again, in listening to your feedback, this is definitely an area of focus that we can work on. Okay, so what does it mean to be motivated? Well, if we're motivated, that means you have a strong desire and a willingness to do something, right? And since we are responsible for, being in school for a good 5.5 to 6 hours at least a day, that's a lot of time. We want to figure out how to be motivated and stay motivated to do school. Well, in order to stay motivated doing school, you can incorporate a lot of strategies into your day. One thing that I like to do is listen to music. Okay, so it might be helpful to listen to an inspirational song, a song that just gets you in a good mood. Okay, listening to music can be a wonderful strategy to keep you motivated, either while you are working, if it's not too distracting for you, or during your break time. Okay, and I realize I didn't include it here too, but also inspirational videos, okay, or movies. I love watching Sister Act 2. That was one of my favorite movies growing up that I found to be very inspirational. All right, so watching videos. Someone told me before too that there is a motivational YouTube channel that you can tune into during your breaks. So check out some of those videos to stay motivated. You also want to connect with others in order to stay motivated. Okay, I know sometimes it can be lonely at our computers working from our desk all day long, but you want to take the time to connect with others. So whether that means hanging out with a friend in your neighborhood in the evening, or joining an extracurricular activity, or being on a sports team, anything like that can help you stay again, connected with others and gain a sense of community, because by interacting with other people, you're going to have more motivation in life overall. And I would even add to that and to say, start connecting with some of your VAVA peers, perhaps at the beginning of class or at the end of class. Your teachers will give you an opportunity to interact with one another. Connect with a study buddy. Having someone to communicate with and hold you accountable for doing your work can definitely help you stay motivated. Okay. Now, in addition, I want to offer a few words of inspiration. It was very disheartening to me to hear in some of your survey results that you don't feel smart or feel like you're educated and things like that. And I just want you guys to look at intelligence in a different way. I love this quote here by Alan Alda, which says, "Be as smart as you can, but remember that it is always better to be wise than to be smart." Okay. In other words, wisdom is very important, and that's a different thing from book learning. Okay, it's one thing to know your math facts and how to read challenging text, but at the same time, we need to be wise and have what we say common sense and life skills, and know ourselves. That's all part of our wisdom and our growth as an individual. So as you think about that, I want you to think about your weaknesses, think about your strengths, and how you can focus on improving the areas in which you're weak in and asking for help when needed. Okay, so again, let's focus on being wise, and don't worry so much about what you do know and what you don't know, because there's always room for growth and opportunities for you to learn new things. Okay, now we should all know Albert Einstein, or at least have heard of that name before. He also is someone who I admire, which, if you didn't know, was diagnosed with dyslexia, a learning disability, at one point of his life, which some people might have considered make him not smart. Okay, but he expresses it this way: "It's not that I'm so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer." Okay, and maybe he even looks at problems in different ways. Thinking outside of the box, perhaps you heard of that before. At VAVA, we also talk about having grit. Okay? That means that we don't give up. We keep trying even when the road gets tough. And as you're going through your days and even sometimes having late nights, I want you to think about, what you can pull out of you deep inside, having that grit and that motivation to stay with the problems longer. And if you can't figure out the answer, knowing when it's okay to ask for help. That's all part of your wisdom, right? Knowing that, hey, this is not an area that I'm strong in. Maybe I should reach out to my learning coach or my teacher for help. And that's totally okay. We don't want you to be stressed out too much about school, because if you're getting burned out with the one problem, then we don't want you to lose your motivation. But again, stick with it, guys. Stick with it. And it's okay to have, sticking with it doesn't mean that you have to figure out the answers on your own. It can be asking for help. All right, here's another quote. This guy, Howard Gardner, is very well known in the world of education, so a lot of you teachers know this guy. And he talks a lot about us having multiple intelligences. So let's read this one. It says, it's not how smart you are that matters. What really counts is how you are smart. Okay, so in other words, we all have different types of intelligences and different strengths. And it's all about figuring out what strengths that you have and using them to your advantage. If you take a look at this visual here, you can see a variety of areas. And you can maybe find one or two areas on this wheel that you might be strong in. For instance, you might be athletic and good at bodily kinesthetic things. So if that's you, perhaps, after you get a problem right or you complete a task throughout your day, you may want to take a break. And I've heard a student tell me before that she'll do cartwheels or do a dance, do something fun that is one of your talents. Okay, or perhaps you are good with people. So you might want to talk about an assignment with one of your VAVA peers before you take a test. Maybe you can ask each other questions if you're good with, again, building relationship and talking with others. Or perhaps you are good with visual and spatial things. You like taking pictures. So you can go and take pictures in your environment and see how they may relate to some of the topics you're talking about in class. So it's all about, again, finding out what you're interested in and using and focusing on those talents to bring school to life, okay? And if you're stuck and you need some ideas about how to incorporate your talent into your learning, definitely shoot me an email. Reply back to this message, and I'll see if I can come up with some great ideas for you. But again, you can do it. I encourage you to watch those videos to stay motivated, seek out a community, get support. You can do it, and happy learning.